This video will go over Python basics and fundamentals, and also we'll look at what are variables and data types in programming, the fundamental concepts. So Python fundamentals, Python is an object-oriented programming language. So don't worry too much about these heavy words, object-oriented. For now, you can just understand object orientation means everything is an object. What I mean by object is in real life also, when we see people, people, every person uh, has certain properties or attributes. Like in Python, every object, everything is an object. It is very much modeled with the on the real life, where every person has certain attributes, certain, like a person has a name, age, color of hair. Similarly, every object has certain attributes which are also called properties, and methods which are actions. So like a person can walk, can sleep, talk, etc. Some actions the person can do. Similarly, every object can be manipulated, certain that data can be modified. So once we'll do it, then you will understand. But for now, you can just think of the object orientation as a way, so that you have a very strong grip on anything that you are working on, what kind of properties this will have and what methods this will have, right? A person you in the real world gives you certain confidence that the person has this kind of, so there's a mental model or structure to the person, right? A person cannot fly, so you understand that, right? So similar thing, what this Python or object orientation does is it gives certain attributes or certain qualities to certain things, so that you can understand what is happening, which helps you code better. So we'll go over a full lecture of object orientation, but this is in it is in the nutshell. It's an interpreted language, not a compiled language. So by this I mean in on each line you can use it on the interpreter, so that gives a very much flexibility and benefit. So you can type each line and see what is happening. Very simple syntax. So syntax means grammar, right? So in English, like there are rules. Like if I say I am going there, this is a perfect sentence grammatically, but if I say we am going there, so that is incorrect, right? Similarly, each computer language has a syntax that you have to follow. So in English, maybe if you use some words like misspells certain words, it will be okay. But in computer, misspelling, typing error are like, I think 90% of the errors. So computer in that way is very strict. So we will have to make sure that each keyword, everything we type is totally accurate. Otherwise, we will go into a lot of errors. Variables, one of the most important and used concept, the fundamental concept, which means is that variables are like in maths also we have that x and y, right? So similarly in programming we can have certain variables which computer program you can manipulate, right? One example can be a is equal to hello world. Here a is a variable, and hello world is the data that is stored in the variable, right? And data is also a data type. We'll go over the fundamental data types. Another important thing is this equal operator, which is used for assigning value to an operator. This is different than maths. So in maths we use equal to compare two values or say that these two values are equal, but here it is used for assigning value. So like statement like a is equal to a plus 2, in maths you will say this is an incorrect statement, but in programming what you are doing is you're assigning the value of a plus 2 to a. So initially say a's value was 2, after this operation it will be 4, right? So don't confuse it with the math that we do, but just think of equal to as an assigning operator or putting the value. In this a value variable I am putting now a plus 2, right? Now important data types in Python, there are many, but the most common or most used are numbers, right? You can numbers can be integers, floats, decimals, right? Booleans are very important. These are like true or false kind of uh, data types. Then strings are very important. We saw one example, hello world. List, these are called uh, uh, these are like collection of different entities. This is not single entity, this is collection of different entities, right? So numbers are like individual, but these are like collection. Similarly, dictionaries are collection, and tuples, right? These are the most, like, I think 90% of the time you will be working with these. So we'll start with these. And very simply we can check any variables data type by using type, and also all the methods and properties which we were talking about, right? Every object has attributes and methods, that also we can check, right? And we'll just do some one small kind of demo, right? Not working. Yeah, so if I say a is equal to hello world, so here a, what I did was I assigned this variable a value hello world. Now what is the type of value this a has? I can just do type, and it's a string, right? String is one of the most important data types, so I assigned this value to this variable. Also I can check all the properties, the methods and attributes of this variable by just doing dir of a. In the next video we will look at more in the on the strings, but this is how the basic stuff works, right? And another property of Python is it's strongly and dynamically typed. So strongly typed means you cannot add two variables of different data types, or you cannot do some operations like if a is string and b is an integer, right? I cannot do a plus b. In some languages this will work, but in Python it's not possible. So the variable should be of the same uh, class and same type. You can do it by, you can check the variable type by type. Second is dynamically typed. Dynamic type means you don't have to define the type of the variable upfront. So in some languages you will have to do int a or strb. So here you don't have to do it. So it gives a lot of flexibility and quick sort of ability to write code, right? So dynamic means never have to declare data types or variable defined at runtime. So this is another sort of flexibility of Python. So yeah, this is it about the basic of Python. It's an object oriented programming language. It's strongly typed, it's dynamically typed, and everything, सबसे important चीज़ इसमें यही है कि everything in Python is an object, right? Very important. And it's an interpreted language and very simple syntax. So next we will look at strings, which are one of the most important data types. Yeah.